This is the News in Brief. Bodo Ramelow, the new minister-president of Thuringia, made history when he and the Left Party won for the first time. It turns out now that even with the coalition formed between the Left Party, the SPD, and the Greens, he came close to losing what was thought to be a sure thing. Two anonymous members of the SPD came forward last week to tell a local newspaper that they had been approached before the elections by a competing political party member of the CDU, and that they had been offered bribes not to vote for Ramelow. As the election came down to only one vote that gave the majority to the Left Party and their coalition members, a trick like this could have stopped Ramelow from winning. The Left Party chief has called for an investigation as soon as possible. The search in New Zealand for 2 missing Germans and 1 missing Australian has been called off after a week of searching. The German man and his son, as well as an Australian doctor, had set off to climb the tallest mountain in New Zealand. They were all roped together and started hiking from the back of the mountain and were due back this past Monday, but never showed up. A 6-day search was made, but turned up nothing, and the police senior constable has now called it off. He said that while the weather has been clear, there were still plenty of hazards on the mountain. More than 230 people have died there. Unfortunately, it seems like the trio did not bring an emergency locator beacon with them, and the cell phone reception there is poor. Police say there is nothing more they can do, but they would reevaluate their search plans if new information was presented. Since the time Germany and the EU have started economic sanctions against Russia for the issues in Ukraine, many on both sides have been ready for them to end. While the sanctions themselves are meant as a punishment towards Russia, it is hurting those in the European Union as well. It was mentioned that sanctions might need to be scaled back as they have not changed Russia's stance in Ukraine. This led the Ukrainian Prime Minister to fly to Berlin to speak to Angela Merkel. She made it clear to him that Russia would need to meet every point of the proposed truth before they would have their previous access to the EU capital markets. Pressure by the members of the opposition party in Germany, the SPD, are saying that the continuation of sanctions will force Russia into an economic chaos, which will in turn be bad for Germany. And that's the news in brief. If you would like a quick and simple way to keep up with the latest from Germany, sign up for our weekly email newsletter, and you can find that on our website, thisweekingermany.de.